Hello, and welcome to another fun-filled week in Florida. We've been here for several of them, long enough that it's already starting to warm up on us, and I'm very grateful for that. We've been here to work on this Red Cross ERV emergency response vehicle and turning it into a spaceship on wheels. Now, last week I left off with working on the cabinetry here to create a booth and table situation, a shower head back in here. This week, we're going to be expanding upon that and creating a bed and moving backwards this way, creating a kitchen area. Y'all hang on. This week's going to be fun. I promise. Hello, Kelsey.
Hey, what's going on in here?
I am making movement. Check it out. This isn't the platform, but you get the idea.
Oh, I see the bed now.
Yeah, you see the bed now? I'm currently working on a box because the manifold, the mixing valve for the shower, has to be mounted on the wall, and we have to insert it into this compartment here. So, unfortunately, these grandiose booths do have to get a little bit smaller. But it's going to look awesome. I have an idea.
I have no doubt it's going to be awesome, Shane. Oh, good, it fits.
Oh, boy, those measurements were dead on. That's as tight as it'll go, Kelsey.
It's a very fancy pooper.
It is. We're gonna deal with it tomorrow. I'm pooped. Good morning, y'all. I came out here today and started working on this compartment because the toilet showed up last night. Now, I have yet to install one like this, and I'm rather excited about it. This thing requires no plumbing, no venting. It has one electrical outlet, and according to this very bold lettering up here, you only leave it plugged in for a couple of hours. I haven't quite read the instructions on it, but in essence, it's a shiny bag, and as you use it, it twists and captures, your waste and takes it out of sight, eliminating the need for a black tank. We're gonna cram it in there. But that's about all I'm doing today because we gotta move the Love Hut. We're going to a party.
We'll be back for that ambulance in a little bit. But for now, the Love Hut's got a Super Bowl party to go to. We thought it might be a good idea to have our bed with us. Just a few scrapes, that's all. Well, guys, we are back on the road again. Shane's got an ambulance waiting on him.
I do indeed. I hear it calling to me, Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
Come back, Shane, come back. Well, while we were gone, a few packages came in, and I wanted to show you guys because I'm out here just holding them up. Because I have to use my imagination a lot of times until this stuff comes in and, hope that the measurements were right. In this case, they were. So I have now received all of my bathroom fixtures, which means we can get to moving on making this thing actually waterproof. Now this is a specially designed shower manifold. It takes the hot on my left side and the cold on the right side and mixes it out the top without running any plumbing through the walls, which is going to be ideal for me because we're going to mount it here and the feed lines are going to come down and go into this, and that'll access our plumbing area. And that's what this void or armrest I've built here is for. I'm going to inset the shower wall so that it goes over it when we close it shut. Another big amenity for me is a low flow shower head. I like this one. There's a couple on the market, but this is one of the lowest rated ones they have. We personally use it and it has cleaned us in some of the most beautiful places the country has to offer. I'll get to making some sawdust tomorrow though. Oh, I just don't get tired of doing that. Those plumbing supplies weren't the only supplies I got. I also got in these super awesome little rollers. It has a high quality little wheel there. And the intent is I'm gonna mount them here, attached to this face. And it's gonna give us one last bracing point so up here can't move back and forth as you're sitting here, because we have a slider up here and a slider down here with casters. So that's our last point to brace. Let's see if we can get this all shaped up. Something so simple as a piece of plywood with some wheels screwed to it can be so intricate. I'm utilizing once again some of the shelving that I found in this thing originally, so I've scuffed it up. I have some higher grade sandpaper. I'll come back over it and make it somewhat shiny, but the idea is to scratch it so that a scratch being added to it won't be as noticeable versus if you just have a very stark, clean piece of aluminum up here. The first scratch is going to look awful. That should hold up the rest of the weight. Oh yeah. Let's keep going. You didn't spook me today, Kelsey.
I was trying so hard. I was being really quiet.
Very, very quiet. We're Shane hunting. Check it out, Kels.
Very cool.
Very cool indeed. Need the handle.
Mm-hmm.
It's moving right along. Well, this whole corner looks different, y'all. Definitely liking how it's all shaping up. I've got some fancy new hinges on the way so I can finalize the shape of this table and all of these little doors that is going to cover this fun action. This turned out to be really cool as well. I can't wait to test the electro lock up there. We'll get some more done tomorrow. Y'all, I like days like today because everything's starting to look like something, which means we need to start taking it apart. We got to start gluing up all these joints. So today I'm going to start disassembling and making sure each component as an actual component versus right now everything has as few screws holding it all together as possible. I have hardware on the way as well. Some of that's going to show up hopefully before the end of the day, so we can start making stuff actually function. Let's see what we can take apart. Well, now I'm off to doing a project that nobody likes doing, and that's committing to cutting a big hole in the middle of all your hard work. And that's what we have here. I'm creating a jig with plywood so I can make a nice cut, and I'm utilizing this handy dandy tool. I go through at least one of these things a year. They cut everything. And just like that, we got ourselves a hole. Just in time for lunch.
Meanwhile, guys, it's rock day. I just took these off of their 5th week of tumbling. I wasn't happy with the first 4 steps and what that produced, so I put it back through the 3rd level of tumbling grit, and oh yeah, I think they're ready for polish now. Look at those inclusions, y'all.
Alright, fancy new hinges are in. At least the first round of them. These things are quite the mousetrap contraption. I will say, if your finger is in the wrong place when you fold it the wrong way, it will snap your thumb. I promise. Now, this is the underside of the tabletop. So there's hinges mounted here, and this is hanging up in the air. These hinges self-support themselves, and that's why they make that funny movement. Now, to drop this thing, you have to push both of these down like this, so it's a two-handed operation. I wanted to put a third one here in the middle, but there's no way to do that hand motion and get all 3 at one time, so I've got to use a different type of hinge here. So you'll get to see how I'll repair this mistake as well. I've got my work lights on. I would say the sun's gone. I think it's about time to clean up for the day though. Table, I'll be back for you tomorrow. Good morning, y'all. We're gonna start out with a little fun today. Now, last night I mentioned I had wrongfully routed out this area, and generally I would just grab another piece of wood, but this is the end of my 3/4 inch plywood of this grade, so I'm still going to continue utilizing it. Now, this all is going to end up working out for the best because I'm going to be doing an inlay of this pine, which is convenient because we have to now put a hinge here that mounts a little differently than the ones we're using on each side of this table. So we'll route out the hole slightly larger and make this piece of wood and that piece of wood one piece of wood. While that glue is drying outside, I'm going to start working in here. Now, part of building the way that I build is I dry fit everything together, and now I've got to start fitting every joint with glue and screwing it all and clamping it when necessary, so that we have one solid object here, which is going to be important because we have tension going in every direction on this thing. Oh, pardon me, out of breath. That rain out there came out of nowhere. It was sunny just a minute ago. I had to hurry and get all my stuff out. It's nice and dry though. Florida, man. Whew. Well, the sun has managed to come out and greet me this morning, and I'm happy to see it. Yesterday was a wet one. I spent a lot of time just basically cleaning up my tools because I was too worried about getting all this wood out there due to all the rain. Today, I'm gonna keep moving forward with the shower. Let's pick up where we left off yesterday with this clamped piece of wood. Now, in fine finish carpentry, people do things like this, and they do nice little bow ties and use it to preserve a crack in a piece of live edge or something like that. And all I'm doing is just trying to refill in the wood that I took out. Once I trim this down with this and sand it and paint it, it'll go away. Let's get this cut smooth.
Whew. Yo, the sun went down and it got pretty chilly out here. It would probably help if I wasn't wearing shorts. Hey, can you even see out here?
I'm standing here and appreciating all my hard work. I'm sorry that I've spent the entire Valentine's Day focusing on this RV and not you. But look what I done today, Kelsey. I'm going to give you a whole tour. Just come in and we're going to look at it in phases.
Oh my.
So right now, that's going to be our shower space. And plumbing's going to be hidden behind this little box. There's a cover that goes over that ugly slide down there, but it's not in there, obviously. And let me show you. Excuse me. I'm going to bump that camera. We got a toilet right there. Oh, yeah. All for your enjoyment. Let's go ahead and close this. And then we'll just go ahead and pull out that extension and... Oh. Ha!
Wow.
It's like a Swiss Army knife, Kelsey.
That is awesome.
Look,
good job, babe.
it's floating too, so your feet don't kick the legs.
Very cool.
Happy Valentine's Day!
That's a pretty good way to end the week.
I think so. Y'all going to have to come back next week to see what all this turns into, because obviously I'm not leaving it like this. This is not pretty enough for me.
You guys be sure and tell him how awesome he is in the comments. He likes to hear it.
I do enjoy hearing that.
Peace out, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all.